Hello, good morning. We want to talk again on how we can make our piglet to stay alive. Yes, although I have made some video about how we can help our piglet starting from the day they have been put to bed, on what we should do in order to make sure that they stay alive. But most time and often, most of the farmers that I know about have been complaining of losing their piglet, that most of their piglet died. Some will say that their pig farrows about 10, 12 or 15, but before they know it, they will lose a lot of them. Sometimes 7 will die, sometimes 5, 4 or so. So that's why I want to make this video in order to continue to give out some tips on what they should do in order to save the life of those piglets. So if you want to see such video, that means you got to subscribe. When you subscribe, you will keep seeing this video. Well, we get a lot of challenges in our farm. Sometimes dying of our piglet, or our piglet getting sick, or this problem or the other. But well, we got to find some solution to most of the problem that we are facing in our piggery farm. Like today, we are focusing on what we should do in order to save the life of our piglet, especially during the rainy season, because most of the piglets are usually lose during the rainy season than in the dry season. Some farmers do lose a lot of their piglet during the rainy season than they will do in the dry season. But there are some few tips that we had to put into consideration. In the previous video that I do about how to save the life of our piglet, I talk about some few tips that we got to do in order to save the life of those piglets. I must repeat it again. These are what we got to do. Right from the time that our pig or the sow farrows, we have to monitor the piglet. Number one thing that we got to do, very, very important in order to ensure the life of the piglet that have just been delivered by the sow, is that when the piglets are born, 2 days or 3 days, we got to look at the feces of the piglet. If their feces is whitish in color or brownish in color, what we got to do is that we have to inject the mother with octotetracycline drugs. Yes, we have to inject the mother with the drugs that will control some bacteria which make the piglet to sick, because as the piglet are shitting those whitish in color sheet, that means that there are some bacteria in the mother's body that is affecting this young piglet, and we will see this in their feces. So that means we have to inject the mother with octotetracycline drugs 2 or 3 days if we observe that the feces of the piglet are whitish in color. Another point that we must make sure that the house or the place that the sow and the piglet reside is made clean and a little bit warm. It's made clean and a little bit warm. Yes, that is another point. The another thing, we must make sure that the mother did not mash or step on the piglet when they are still very young and very fragile. We must assist the mother that it does not mash or step on those piglets. The another thing is that during this time, when the piglets are very young, we must make sure that the food that is given to the mother is a good food. And another thing is that you must not give cover crops to the mother during the time that he has just given birth and those piglets are very young. If you give cover crops to the mother, that will result when the piglets suck the breast. That means those cover crop that you have just given to the mother will turn as if you have given the mother excessive multivitamin, because most of those cover crops deal on fast digestion and like a multivitamin drugs to the mother, which result in more secretion of minerals, which is abnormal when the little piglet suck the breast. So it is not advisable that we give cover crops to the sow during the time they are just given to birth. It will not affect the mother or the sow, but it would affect the little piglet, because what they suck in the breast would not be good with them, and that's why you will see most of the time they will have their fishes will be whitish in color. Then another point is that those piglets, after some time, they will start to sniff food or sometimes lick food or so. So what we got to do is that we make sure that what we give to the mother is very good. It's a good food, so that even though those little ones will also partake of the feed that the mother is eating, it will not disturb them. Because if the food is bad, like some people will give some rotten, expired and smelling food to the mother, if those little ones go and partake of the food, the bacteria that is in the food is not good with the body of those little piglets, and they may get sick or sometimes dying. So most of those things are the reason why our piglets are dying and we are losing a lot of them. So we take these few tips that I want to mention again. Number one, give a good food to the mother. After it farrows, inject the mother with a antibiotic drugs that will control some bacteria in the mother of in the body of the sow, so that what the little one will feed from the breast would not transfer the bacteria from the mother to the little one. And also make sure that the place that the piglet are staying is a little bit clean, free from most of the bacteria. That is the place that the sow and the piglet are staying is a little bit clean. And also mind the food that the piglet will eat along with the mother, or sniff or sometimes lick water of the food along with the mother, and make the place to be a little bit warm. So if we consider those tips and put these tips into consideration, that is, if we do take these tips into consideration, it means that we will be able to control the mortality rate of our piglet. Yes, because all the pig that we have today or in our farm came from a piglet. If we cannot make this piglet to stay alive, that means our farm will not progress. Because if you keep on losing your piglet, that means you keep on reducing the size of your farm. If your pig or your sow give birth to about 30 to 40 piglets in a year, and out of 30 to 40 piglets in a year, you lose 20 or 25 in a year, that means you have 10 or 15 left in the farm. That means your farm will not grow. But if you can save the life of your piglet, at least 90% of the life of your piglet every year, you will see that very soon your farm will progress. So it is very important that we fight in order to make sure that our piglets stay alive. We got to do everything necessary so that we make sure that our piglets stay alive. When the piglets stay alive, this is how we're going to make our farm to grow big in no time. But if we keep losing our piglet because of one problem or the other, that means our farm will not grow. Our farm will keep being small. So here we want all the farmers to progress, to make gain, and to make their farm to become larger and big. Well, that was Piggery talking on your screen. If you love this video, please consider subscribing. Bye bye.